everyone, long time no see. Essentially, the week, one of the weeks I was ill, I just decided, you know what, let me allow it, let me not attempt to drive in this state. And then the following week, my driving instructor was ill. So today's the only day that we are able to meet, both in good health. So let's get into it. So I was just really nervous. Like I get nervous when there are gaps in between driving, just so I know that when that consistency is off, like it's like I go back to being rusty. But maybe that's just a belief in the mind, and maybe it's not like I revert back to the beginning, like of when I started driving lessons, but you just feel like a little bit less confident that you're not really on it that much. But I would say the driving lesson went okay. I was able to downshift from gear 3 to gear 2, and whoever watches this knows that I absolutely hate that, but I did it at a turn-in and I did it at a roundabout, and I didn't keep my foot on the brake like I always do, which slows down the car too much. There was one time when I didn't need to do it, but it's weird. Like, I feel like when you're learning, you just don't have this flexible sense of thinking. So if you were told, okay, when you stop, you need to put the handbrake on. Literally, in my brain, in all instances, you need to put the handbrake on. And then my driver instructor will be like, wait, no, you don't actually need to put the handbrake on in this instance. So for me, I was like, okay, we're turning into a road. Obviously, I can't swing by into a road that fast. So I'm going to need to go to gear 2 so I can go in a slower speed. But after I'd passed the road and everything, oh, by the way, I didn't even stop at the point of turn, which is something I'm really struggling with. But we'll get there. My driver instructor explained to me that I didn't need to go to gear 2 because I was going to stop anyway. So I could have just stopped in gear 3, waited until the road was clear, and then just gone. And then that opened up a new sort of, thinking for me, because I was like, oh, I don't always need to follow the rules. I think you learn the rules and then you learn to flex them to the situation. But I think I'm just still learning how to do that. There was a few situations where I was head on to head with buses. Like there was just one time and I was just going down the road and there was just like 3 buses on the road, and I was like, is this where I die? Because there are so many buses. But I came out of both situations unscathed, I'm happy to say. What else? I would say, yeah, it was okay, driving on busy roads, stopping, starting. When you have lessons like around 5 p.m, which I do in London, it's going to be a lot of that. Traffic. There was good use of my mirrors. Every time I stopped, I looked in the middle mirror. You gotta grab the small wins, like using my mirrors. A lot of drivers don't, so I should be happy that I was able to do that. I also didn't struggle with my left and rights as much as I usually do. Like it wasn't a lot of no, I meant, that way, So I'm proud of my brain for functioning properly today. It's probably because of the 2 weeks holiday from driving that I took off, that my brain is a bit refreshed. There's definitely more things that I want to work on, but obviously I've got all the time in the world to do that. Sort of like right turns. I just think, I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but I just think there's so much information, like especially when you have to be reactive. I'm just like, if I could describe what I think my dyslexia or whatever it ends up being diagnosed as affects me, it's as if, okay, so I had one situation in this lesson where there was a bus in front of me and I was doing a right turn. So my brain was like, okay, we need to get into position. Are we in the right position? Okay, I'm detecting that. But imagine in between, like noticing all these things, there's like a 1 or 2 second lag, which doesn't sound bad, but then when you need to be reactive, you really can't have those sort of lags. So I'm like, okay, I need to get into position. My brain is processing how exactly to get in position and what that position is. But my driver's just busy saying, well, you should have gone by then. But my brain is still trying to process the right point of turn, and also my fight and flight responses are trying to not be jarred by the fact that there's this fat bus in front of me with its LED lights literally blinding me. But from what my drama instructor was saying, he was just hoping that once I get my diagnosis of whatever it is, it will help me put some things in place so I struggle less. I guess now I'm sort of just throwing wind to the dark. That doesn't make sense. That's not a really correct Indian, but we're going with it. I'm just sort of like, winging it and just saying, yeah, this might help. Yeah. But really, I have no idea what I'm doing. I think once I get that, breakdown of what I actually struggle with, then I can begin to implement things that will help me struggle less. Yeah, I would say that it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as scary as I expected. It was actually decent. So yeah, it was actually decent. I can't beat myself up too much about it. I'm just hoping that I keep it consistent from here, but you never really know what's gonna happen. But really, fingers crossing that things will be consistent from here, and I will work on my right turns. I would just feel more generally confident on the road, but we're just gonna keep on attending our lessons and hoping for the best. So yeah, that's my update. I hope you didn't miss me too much these 2 weeks, and I hope your driving lessons have been going well, and I hope they go well this week. And if you've had it already, I hope it went well. And yeah, see you hopefully next week. Bye.